Hey friends, Jeremy here from Preemptive Love. I want to get an update on what's going on in Beirut, Lebanon right now. Two massive explosions have gone off as we continue to await further information to know what's going on. There's a lot of speculation out there online, in the streets of Beirut, across the Middle East about what's going on right now. We're not going to repeat or traffic in any of that speculation. In our efforts to end war, one of the things that we've learned is merely floating ideas and conspiracies while you wait for the facts to arrive is not a neutral act. It actually perpetuates stereotypes, misnomers about people, and perpetuates violence that we can do to one another as it ratchets up our fear and suppresses our empathy and capacity to respond in love. So we're not going to traffic in any of that. What I want to talk to you about right now is what we are doing, what we're seeing on the ground. Our team, we have team in Beirut.
This is my balcony. Behind me is the smoke of those two explosions that just blew the country up. The port is totally destroyed.
Our team is on site already in and around the areas that have been hit by the bomb blast radius. That bomb blast radius, incidentally, if you look at videos, is massive. I have felt that our team, both on the Syrian side and now Beirut, in the Iraq side, we have felt bombs in and around us. We felt bomb blasts pass through us. This looks like something that I can say for myself, I have never seen anywhere or environments that we've been in. So we're trying to figure out and trying to wait to understand what this actually has been. But the impact of it is clear. You watch videos and you see that you literally see the wave of energy wipe out house after house, apartment after apartment, blowing out windows, blowing out kitchens, collapsing balconies. You see cars decimated on the side of the road, windshields shattered, not from debris, but from air pressure changes. So this explosion and then the secondary explosion have both taken place at the port that serves as the main entryway for so much of oil and food that comes into Beirut and into greater Lebanon. Furthermore, one of the major granaries that holds so much supply for Beirut and Lebanon was apparently wiped out in the blast and its aftermath. What has not been much discussed in United States media is that Lebanon has been in a downward spiral for some time. You may have remembered some protests in Beirut and across Lebanon about a year ago. Those were heartening for a moment, but the net effect of all that has been a continued downward spiral of Lebanon. Currency and financial crisis, economic crisis that they're in right now.
Because of economic and political tension, our dollar has significantly dropped. Food is extremely expensive and has become scarce. Fuel has been limited, and even before COVID, we were experiencing high unemployment rates. It came towards 60%.
Our very staff in Lebanon has been preparing for famine. And now, you're talking about wiping out the port that served as a main gateway for food and oil, gas to come into the country. You're talking about a major granary that stored so much food being wiped out.
But what happened here today is beyond devastating. Everything that was hard to get before is now near impossible. This is not just another bombing in the Middle East. This is a bombing that impacts the entire country. We are a small country. We are too small to create all of our own food. We rely on the exports of others. We rely on this port for food, oil, and in a moment it has been taken from us.
The one thing that is clear amidst all the speculation and all the conspiratorial thinking is that a country already on the brink of economic collapse is now made even worse. And these are often the events that precipitate formal outbreaks of war. When we wring our hands sometime in the future and say, how did it get to be so bad? This is one of those moments that we will have to look back at. And the months before this, and the months before this. But looking back right now, we'll have to ask, did we respond? Did we do what we could to shore up the well-being of people who are at risk of going hungry tonight? You can watch the video and see in one moment the thousands of people that are homeless tonight. In one moment, the thousands of people who won't have food tomorrow. Our team is on the ground. Our team is ready to respond. Lebanon is typically a country that is full of aid organizations, often working among Syrians. But due to COVID, many of them are gone. Many of them, their budgets have been slashed or their staff have been sent home for fear of getting trapped in the COVID lockdown. And so much of the sector that might be otherwise willing and able to respond is also gone right now. Wanted to give this context so that you knew a little bit more about what's going on, some of the background, some of the implications of what this can mean going forward, and why we're doing what we're doing, why we're pursuing it the way we're pursuing it. We'll have more information to come. Keep up with us on Twitter. That's where we'll have the most real-time information. And we are responding. We don't know the specifics exactly of what we're doing right now. We're just, minutes out from the explosion itself, but we are responding, and we will figure out and communicate the X's and O's of what our next steps are. But we know we got to get people food. We know we got to get people shelter. We have a blueprint for this. We have done this over and over and over again throughout the world. And so we're excited that we have you on our side as we tearfully and regretfully have to go in yet again and do this on behalf of our friends across Beirut and Lebanon. All right, more to come. Thanks.